And so government entities, schools, businesses, libraries, like I said, people come together all across the United States for 1 week each year in support of international education. And so here at Neosho, we try to celebrate it in many different ways. One of the best ways we do it is by having country presentations, where we get to learn about different countries from our very own students that are here visiting us from abroad. And so today, I will start off by introducing you to one of our largest students, may I say that, without offending him. This is Jaryl Bernard here from the island of St. Lucia in the Caribbean. So please speak loudly as we give your presentation. And thank you.
All right, I first would like to start off by thanking everybody for being here today. As Sarah said, my name is Jaryl Bernard. I'm from the wonderful island, small but wonderful island of St. Lucia, which is down in the Caribbean. It's awesome. Yes. I would first like to explain my dressing as well. I do not have any traditional wear from back home, so I decided to dress in shorts and a t-shirt with some shoes and socks, just to depict the tropical life, I guess. I would wear a tank, but it's probably too much. So first I'd like to start off by explaining presenting our nation's flag. I'll explain the colors of the flag and the meaning. So we have blue. The blue is cerulean blue, which is kind of a unique blue and hard to find blue. So this depicts the sky and the ocean around us. We're surrounded by water, obviously. The black and white are for the people of the country, and the yellow is for the sunlight. The triangles in the flag are for, it depicts the Twin Peaks, the Petals, which are World Heritage Sites. You will see a picture of them later on in my slide. All right, so this is a map. It was really hard to find a map that included St. Lucia, so this was the best that I could have found. So as you can see up there, this explains what I just said. So this is a world map. You clearly see the continents and stuff, and small islands around the world, but there is the Caribbean region right here, and you won't see St. Lucia in this map. However, a closer look, you can see St. Lucia right down here. It is not Jamaica. Clearly, Jamaica is up here. It is not Bahamas. Bahamas is clearly up here. So it's a standalone island surrounded by small islands around. So yes, common questions I like to answer. Well, I've been getting ever since I landed in the US. It's not just me. Do you guys have cars and vehicles? Or vehicles? Yes, we do. We don't walk everywhere or run everywhere. Is everybody down there as big as you? No. we have average size people, size and height people. I know I have friends obviously who played basketball and did sports with me that are my height or even taller than me, 6'7", 6'6". There's this guy right now, he plays semi-professional basketball, I think in France right now. He's like 6'10", something like that. Do you guys live on the beach down there, and is the water really clear? No, we don't live on the beach. Obviously there are beach houses and stuff owned by different people, but it's just like solely for vacation purposes. Nobody actually lives in a hut by the beach. And is the water really clear, as in the seawater? Yes, it is really clear. You see in a later slide. Is it beautiful over there? Definitely it is. If you're ever thinking of a vacation, St. Lucia is the place. Is St. Lucia part of Jamaica, St. Croix, or Bahamas? No, St. Lucia is an independent island. And or is St. Lucia like any of these islands? Most of the Caribbean islands share similarities because, as in topography, but each of them has their own unique things that stand out about them, basically. I'll move on to interesting facts about my island. We have the only dry-through volcano in the world. You'll see a picture of it in a later slide. Considered the #1 honeymoon destination in the world. So those of you planning to get married, or even if you are married, you could come down there. Our mother tongue is English. However, the French were the first settlers of our country. So I'll just brief you with a little history about the country. The French settled in 1660. However, 3 years later, in 1663, England took over till 1667, where they had a war ensued between each other, obviously, because this would later result in a war, as I said, over the island, and it was a split of 7 times British, 7 times French. So they fought a total of 14 times over the island, with a split. The French won 7 times, the British won 7 times. So each time the French won, the whole regime changed. So we had French. Then when the English won, the whole regime changed again. Then it was English. In 1814, however, the British took over control of the island, which made us a British colony. The island got the name the Helen of the West Indies, after Greek mythological character Helen of Troy, due to the number of switches in control over the French and between the French and the British. And obviously we were under the British for quite some time, but in 1979, on February 22nd, 1979, we became an independent nation where we would deal with our own affairs. We have tropical climate all year round, which is a beautiful thing. Coming to Chanute, that was one of my biggest cultural shocks, I should say. So days like when it's like 30 degrees, 20 degrees out here, it's at 80 over there, which I miss very much. We are at a growing population of 184,790 people in total. Yes, we are a small island. Predominantly African, Black, with small percentage of Indo-Caribbean, which is South Asian Indian descent. So it's like, in times of slavery, we had slaves come from Africa, as well as some slaves came to the Caribbean from India. So majority of them settled in a neighboring island called Trinidad and Tobago. So you would go down there and you'd get predominantly Indo-Caribbean people, but we have a small percentage of Indo-Caribbean people. Our island has 2 Nobel laureates, Sir Arthur Lewis and Derek Walcott. Sir Arthur Lewis won his Nobel Prize in Economics in 1979, and Derek Walcott won his for Literature in 1992. Both of them are now deceased. I'm not clear as to the date in which Sir Arthur passed away, but Derek Walcott passed away in 2017. There is a small community college on the island named after Sir Arthur Lewis, so it's Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. And there is a square. It's a square in the city, in the capital of the country, named after Derek Walcott. Notable annual events. In January, we celebrate Nobel Laureate Week. It doesn't have an exact date because of the calendar. So it's normally in the middle of January, so about the 23rd. I think the 23rd of January is actually Sir Arthur Lewis's birthday, I think. Or was it both of their birthdays are on the 23rd of January, so it's normally around that time. In February, we have Independence Day, as I mentioned. So in the pictures down there, I forgot to include one of them. but you could see children up here dancing with the national colors on them, just clothing made out of regular material, just with the national colors on there. So we have different events. We also have a parade, a national parade basically. So you have all the service departments on the island. They dress up as neat as they can, and they parade in the presence of the Governor General and the Prime Minister and some ministers of cabinet. In May and June, if you're a party person, a jazzy person, we have May to June, sorry. So there is no exact date in May or exact date in June where it ends, because they recently changed it where it ends now, I think in August. So we have St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. The name speaks for itself. We have local jazz musicians, local artists putting on displays around the island. So there are events at different in different communities as well as different locations on the island. In July we have St. Lucia Carnival. This is the most decent picture. Of St. Lucia Carnival. So it's basically I think Carnival was brought about by the Africans when they came over. It started off with Calypso, where the Africans would just have a time where they would all just come together and just mock the slave masters of what they say, and they would just put it in song. So that tradition basically continued along the years, and it evolved into Carnival, which that music, Calypso music, used to play in Carnival, but now it's so evolved. There is this thing called soca music, which I also forgot to include. But if you have any free time, you could go up on YouTube, just type in soca music you would get it from any Caribbean island, but the main ones are Barbados, St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago. You could just type it up and just listen to it. It's a totally different type of music from the music in the US. And we skip all the way to October, which is Journée Creole. That is Creole term. So Journée meaning day, Creole meaning Creole. So we have a celebration of our French heritage. Before I say that, we also speak, and we speak two languages. Our first language is English, as I mentioned, but due to the French influence, we speak French Creole, which is broken French basically. So it's not an official language considered in the world, but we speak it as a common language. So as you can see on here, we celebrate the French and a little bit of the Indian heritage. So the clothing they're wearing, the material right here is called the Madras material, which came from the Indians. But the food and stuff they are preparing it came from the Africans. So the style of the cold pot, on there they probably had roast bakes and stuff like that, which I'll mention later on. So this is a picture of our traditional wear. So for men, you would get, they would wear a white shirt. The name is also right there in French. It's chemise bleu, which means white shirt. A waistcoat, a gilet, a stash or a sash, as they would say in French Creole. It's just like a piece of cloth going around the waist. Black trousers, pantalon noir, and that's for the men. For the women, you would get the warp duet. The headpiece varies. I know there are some. So if you're married, there are a certain amount of peaks you would get in the headpiece. If you're single, there's a certain amount of peaks. If you're a juvenile, there are a certain amount of peaks. So it was basically, it basically depicts the availability of a woman. So the great dress, the one warp, is the dress itself, the outward picture. And in November, we have St. Cecilia's Day, which is is celebrated on the 22nd of November. So this coming Friday it is. They would be celebrating St. Cecilia's Day back home. St. Cecilia's Day is the celebration of musical saints, I think it is. Yeah. So all types of music, you would get music playing from as early as 12 a.m. all around the island. You get at bars, at the markets, at any location, they would just start playing music, different genres of music as well, all genres of music. I'll now move on to popular dishes. Everybody likes food, I know I do. Popular dishes on the island that you should try if you ever visit Lucia. I'll start off with green fig and saltfish. So a green fig is basically a green banana, an unripe banana, where they boil it up and stuff. And salted fish is like preserved fish with salt. So then they boil it up and you prepare it to your taste. So the national dish is green fig and saltfish. However, you could add anything to your saltfish to your taste buds. But green fig and saltfish is the national dish. This is what we call a bouillon. Obviously, it's not prepared as yet, but this was the best picture I could have found. In a bouillon, you would find, bouillon is, again, a Creole term, but the English name is one pot. So you would put everything basically in one pot and cook it up. So you get green bananas, potatoes, pumpkin, whatever meat you prefer. Is it beef, pork, whatever you prefer. And you stew it up or you cook it up with beans or peas. This is what they call akra in Creole, or fish cakes in English. So included in there, they would make a batter with flour, local seasonings, saltfish. Some people put shrimp in there, so it's whatever seafood you prefer. You just tear it up really small and you place it in there and you mix up a batter and you fry it on a stove with some hot oil. And it will turn out like, this is the final product. So we have bakes or floats. It's again flour based, so you knead up dough with flour. Some people include sugar, salt, yeast, if you please, and you knead it up, and then you break it up into how big you want your bakes or how small you want your bakes, and you fry it up. Now, now onto things to do or tourist attractions or just attractions in general. Chasing waterfalls. I know people would love to go to a waterfall anywhere to go in the world, but we have some amazing waterfalls. We have a lot of waterfalls on the island, but I included like 2 of the main waterfalls, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. So this one is located on the West Coast. This is the Diamond Waterfall, and it runs through the community of Soufrière, and it runs through like mineral rocks. So you know the water breaks down the rocks, and then the minerals flow within the water. So then you get basically a mineral bath, a beautiful mineral bath basically. And this one is Latil Falls. It's again a Creole term. I don't know the English term for Latil, but it's Latil Falls. It's located on the East Coast in a community called Mikud, which is English, and Miku is a Creole term. So as you can see again, it's wonderful. This is a picture of our driving volcano. So as you can see here, I couldn't get a proper aerial picture of, aerial shot of the whole volcano, but it's basically like an inactive volcano. So people are able to walk past it and take photos and stuff. There you can see to the bottom, there's a road right there. So it starts at one point, you enter through one point. You could enter and exit through that same point, but you enter through one point and you could drive all the way to the top and exit the whole attraction. This was the best aerial view I could have gotten of it. So people could also go there and opt to take a mud bath. So what comes from the volcano is sulfur, which is healthy for your skin. So people would go at not any time in the day, because sometimes in the day it gets really hot where they advise people to not go in because it could cause severe burns, of course. So there again, you can see the road to the top. If you look for the top, so then you drive up there and the volcano would be somewhere up on this side, and people would go into these pools, which were man-made. So the volcano would, the sulfur would run down through this stream, but these pools were man-made so that people could enjoy bathing in sulfur. Something to do, you could go peatop climbing or hiking. So this is a community of Soufrière, which is on the west coast. So Soufrière is English and Soufrière would be the Creole name for it. So there you can see the twin peaks, which I mentioned earlier. This is a picture of people going up the Go-Pito nature trail. So the name of the peaks, are Go-Pito and Piti-Pito. Go meaning big and Piti meaning small. So the easier one to climb is Go-Pito actually, because there's actually like a nature trail, like a designated path to the top. So it's easier to climb. If you want to be extraordinary, these guys got, I think they went hiking and then they got married to the top of Go-Pito. And in the back you can see Piti-Pito. So another interesting fact is that Go-Pito is located in Choiseul and Piti-Pito is located in Soufrière. So that's two different communities, but they're like separated by only like maybe 10 to 15 minutes drive. So yeah. This is if you want to be extravagant like them, you could go trying to hike up Piti-Pito, which, as I explained, has no designated path. So as you can see, there are ropes hanging off, and people actually, they basically rock climbing up Piti-Pito. You could go on an ATV adventure. There are some ATV trails on the east. I know the East Coast is popular for ATV trails. You could also go ziplining, which there are some ziplining places in the north of the island, the east and the west. You could also go rainforest adventure, where you would go see, at this point you could probably see trees, unique trees in our rainforest. You could probably see a snake hanging off a tree. And some animals, if you're lucky, you could probably see. And also you could probably see our national bird, which I did not include in this presentation, but you could probably see our national bird. It's the Amazona versicolor. It's only found in St. Lucia. So if you're lucky, you would probably see him flying back. And of course, you could go to the beach. You could there's a water park located on the beach. As I mentioned earlier, the water is clear, so you could see that it is really clear. You could also go jet skiing. And if you just simply want to relax, you could enjoy the beach. Isn't that beautiful? Or you could go snorkeling. The popular area for snorkeling is on the west coast, where you can see our natural coral reefs and different fish and stuff. I went once, it's actually nice. And I would like to end by saying St. Lucia is no ordinary island. This quote was taken from St. Lucia Hotel and Tourism Authority. It's just like, I used that quote in my com class for an essay, and it's just one of the quotes that really describes the island. So whilst the Caribbean is a large place, we have a number of islands, but St. Lucia differs from the rest. And you guys are welcome anytime. Thank you.